Hey everybody, it's Peter, and this is a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado. It's an RST package with the Duramax diesel, and I think this is a perfectly equipped truck. And I mean that because trucks can get very, very expensive when you start checking option boxes, and I think this one is really, really well equipped. So stay with me if you want to see some of the options that I think are high value options that a lot of people like, that will make your truck have high value to others, but also not be so high value that it gets crazy expensive. So first of all, if you want to see more truck reviews or more trucks in general, we have a complete line of nearly new full-size pickup trucks, mid-size pickup trucks, always here at Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals. And I have full access to their complete vehicle line, and I will review whatever vehicle you want. I will compare different types of vehicles, especially different kinds of pickups. So if you want to see comparisons between this truck, other trucks, similar trucks, subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments the kinds of things you want to see in some truck reviews, and we'll show you. This is just going to be a walk around, not so much a driving video, but I think it'll show you some of the things that other videos don't show you. So thanks to Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals for giving me access. Let's get into this review. So first of all, Duramax diesel Z7-1 sort of suspension package. Let's talk about some of these things that I really like on this truck from the outside. All right, the first thing I want to point out is obviously this Duramax engine. It is running right now, and I'm wearing a microphone which is almost as close to the front grille as it is to my voice, and you can hear it, but you can't really hear it loudly. This is a very quiet engine, and what I like about it as a perfectly equipped truck, and this may not be right for you because again, diesels aren't right for everyone, but this gives you 460 foot-pounds of torque while also giving you great efficiency. So you don't have to go with a weak engine to get efficiency. You can go with lots of torque, lots of power. It's about 277 horsepower as well. So horsepower matters a little bit less than something like a diesel engine with all of that torque, all of that pulling power. So the other thing I like out here, front LED lights. You can see front LED lights. It does have fog lights as well. And down really low here, you've got the tow hooks. To me, a truck should have tow hooks. It's the kind of vehicle that can pull things out of areas where they might be stuck. You've got all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. We'll talk about all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive in a second, but you should have tow hooks, LED lights, all of that makes it safe, makes it fun, makes it practical as well. Let's take a look at the side. I'm going to point out something with the wheels that I think a lot of people don't pay enough attention to. All right, wheel and tire package here. These are 20-inch rims, so they are big rims, but they still have enough sidewall for if you're going off-road. To me, a truck that has too big of a rim and too small of a sidewall stops being useful as a truck in some ways. And the other thing you're going to notice with certain trucks, this one is the Bridgestone Dueler tire. The brand doesn't matter too much, but it still has enough tread to be capable off-road. And to me, if you're going to get a truck, you're going to be heading places where you're not always on the road. You want some grip, and it's to have a truck with a little bit of a sidewall and a little bit of an off-road tread, I think matters on a truck. This one comes with that, and I think that's great. Now, if we're talking about the business end of the truck, I think we got to recognize that Chevy does a pretty good job with their fancy tailgates. But if we're talking about equipping a vehicle of particular value, I don't know that you need their multi-flex kind of crazy tailgate. I like it. I'm not saying I don't, and I'm not saying if budget was no matter, that's what you should get. But this one with the plain tailgate is pretty practical. You can double tap it here. It is a soft open, soft close, so it's light and easy to do. And you can notice the steps right here. Chevy includes those anyways, so you already have a step into the tailgate, and the little post right here, it's kind of carved out for your fingers, so you can step around and step into your tailgate and out of your tailgate, no problem, even without that fancy multi-flex type tailgate. Let's take a look in the bed and see a couple things as well. So to me, not every truck needs a full tonneau cover. In fact, I like having an open truck bed. When I've owned a truck in the past, I've never had a tonneau cover, and it's worked well for me. Actually, I shouldn't say that. One truck did, one truck didn't. But having the open tonneau cover, I think open bed makes sense. You've got the plastic rails up here, you've got the spray-in bed liner, and GM gives you 1, 2, 3 hooks right there. They're standard, but you have all of these little plugs right here, which you can get GM accessories to plug into there and have all the tie downs that you need. There's a lot of trucks with the fancy rails, but you may know what you want to tie down, and if you needed a tie down right here, there's lots of spaces throughout the truck. You could put the tie down exactly where you want them, and you can even move them around. Take it out of here, put it into here, depending on what you've got. So you've got options to tie down your cargo with an open bed. Like we mentioned, the spray-in bed liner is nice. You also have lights in the back here. If you did put the tonneau cover up here, it is nice to have those lights down there. You've also got, of course, the light behind me, sort of in that brake light assembly there as well. But these are nice. If you do have covered cargo, you can see within that bed there. If you got 460 foot-pounds of torque, of course you're going to want a hitch there. This one has it. And you want the 4-pin and the 7-pin wiring. That's kind of standard stuff, but there's one thing inside that's not always standard. Let's show you that right now. What you're looking at right now is the factory trailer brake controller. You can pinch that, of course, to sort of set your brake and set it up, and then plus minus right down there. You can add accessory trailer brake controllers anywhere. The reason I think the factory one is good is if you're towing something like an RV, you may not be in your hometown at your local dealer. The thing is, if there's ever a problem with your trailer brake controller, you're done. Whereas if you go to a GM dealer, you can get the part shipped anywhere. And, you know, even if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's usually a Chev dealer that can help you out. So you've got a factory built in, it's cleaner looking, it's nicer. And if there's ever an issue, it's a standard GM part that they can get to you just like they could any other GM part. So let's jump outside again, show you as we walk into the truck some of the interior features that I really like that make this truck really perfectly equipped. So if I'm speccing out a truck, I'm speccing it with cloth seats. Now I know a lot of people like leather, but leather's not super cheap. I do want good, comfortable seats that are power adjustable because then I can get really fine-tuned adjustment of exactly the way I want, and this one has that. So cloth seats to me, I think is a good value equation. All right, let's take a look here. Drive modes, of course, are here. You've got trailer tow mode and all the other drive modes. Let's just flip through some of them here. So we're gonna go to, we've got normal, sport, off-road, and that's it, normal, sport, and off-road. And then we've got the trailer towing mode, which we can go the other way for as well. So there we go, we'll leave it in, actually we'll leave it in the normal mode, there we go. Select that there. You've also got some nice controls here. We're gonna zoom in a little bit, probably super close. These are your four-wheel drive modes. Now, you can go 4 high, 4 low, and 2-wheel drive. One thing people forget is if you're driving through snow, you don't really want 4 high. That's more of an off-road mode that locks the axles together. You want an auto mode. This basically gives you an all-wheel drive function, a lot like a typical all-wheel drive SUV, where it allows you to go around corners without binding the drive system there. So you've got an auto system for the snow, you've got a 4-wheel drive high and low system for going off-road, and I think that is perfectly well equipped. Coming down here again, there's your headlight controls. The only thing I don't like about your headlight controls is they are the same as your drive modes, and I just feel like that should be a different switch. Although you can see it, it's pretty clear. All right, it's getting hot in here, so I'm gonna turn on the climate system, which I turned off just to keep things quiet, but if it gets a little noisier, we can handle that. 22 degrees, that's what it's gonna come down to. We'll just turn that up a little bit so it turns the fans down. Dual zone automatic climate control to me is a must-have when you're traveling in a vehicle like this, especially when you got the towing capacity and towing ability of this. If you're going across the country, you wanna make sure that when you're driving that everybody's comfortable. So again, I can set the passenger to a different level than the driver. And of course you got the heated seats. What's cool about the GM's heated seats in their pickup trucks is you can do the heated seats for the top and the bottom, so the back and the bottom, or you can just do the heated seats for the back only. If you got a bit of a sore back, that's kind of a nice thing to do. So you've got options there to just make sure everybody's comfortable. Down here, tailgate button, very simple stuff, nothing too much. Of course, if you get more advanced features, you can get more advanced options there. And again, I just think this is equipped well for what it is. Coming down here, USB and USB-C and 12-volt port, that's really all you need. You've got all kinds of storage in this truck too, and let's just talk about some of that storage. You got storage up front top glove box, bottom glove box. Down here in the armrest, place to set your cell phone while you're traveling. In the center console, you've got lots of places to set things there. Cell phones, iPads even, you can put a lot of things down there. And when we open the center console, tough to show you exactly here, but this is deep and it's got all the space that you would need in there. Just really handy, and it does have a little bit of a light in there right by my finger you can't see in the daylight. Now there are a couple hidden storage compartments in the back seat that I want to show you as well. So full-size pickup truck, typical stuff. You've got lots of storage in the doors like you would expect. You've got pockets on the seats, driver and passenger, which is what we should have. Same power points as you had out front. So you got USB-C, USB-A, and a 12-volt port there as well. You do have vents back here. You've got cup holders for whoever's sitting back here. You've got more cup holders in this little armrest right here. So you've got lots of space there, but then you've got the typical storage things. You have a virtually flat floor, but not fully flat on the Chevys. This lifts up easily, and you have a little storage part there. I would assume that is a block heater cord. Probably on this diesel would have a block heater. I haven't double checked that. But these seats go up and down nice and easily. And then there's this little tab right here. I think this is really smart. If you've got kids with you or something small you want to put in that section, it's actually a pretty big section there, which takes advantage of that angled seat and the flat back of the vehicle. You can get a little storage in both the driver and passenger side here, so really good there. Now, let's flip the camera around and show you how much space there is in the back seat of this vehicle. Pickup trucks have gotten massive, and really this is where you see it. I am 6 feet, I'm sitting behind myself, and this is just an obscene amount of space. This is where the pickup trucks have really grown. The back beds, they're actually smaller than they used to be. So overall space back here is absolutely fantastic. You have all the room you need. and it's just really comfortable no matter who's here. So if you're thinking of this as a family vehicle, this absolutely works. One thing that I think, again, when we're talking about value here, you can see the rear window. There's no opening glass back here. On a lot of vehicles, that's a manually opening glass, and if that's the case, you're probably not going to use it a whole lot. So going without the opening glass, but keeping the windshield or the rear window defroster, I think is a great option mix on this vehicle as well, because you want it clear of the frost and other things, but you don't necessarily need to open that rear window because a lot of us don't open it that much anyways. So again, nice to have, but when you're choosing value, there's a great option package that you can decide if you want to keep or not. I want to quickly show you the dash as well. You can get all kinds of fancy dashes on this, and there's lots of sort of features you can have, but I think this one makes a lot of sense just for what it is. If you take a look here at the features there, we've got our speed there, we've got our trip 1, trip 2, we've got fuel range there, we've got oil life there, tire pressures listed in kilopascals because it's metric. This is one thing GM does that I'd like to see it changed to PSI in Canada, where most of us measure our tire pressure in PSI, but everything else in metric. Air filter life is 90% there. Brake pad life is super handy as well because depending on the type of driving, if you're doing towing, your brakes might go a little quicker. So it's not just based on mileage, you get a sense of where they're at. And then you get fuel efficiency, best is 7.1, average is 12.7 right now. Fuel filter life, and there's your all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and there's your diesel emission fluid that also tells you that you've got that. So there's just so many features in here, and you can often add more or less into this menu item. So even though it's not a full digital dash, it has so much information in there that's super helpful to have, and I like just having it on the speedometer right there as well. Jumping over here, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are available here. They are standard function there. Try to get the sunlight out of there. You'll see some glare just the way I'm filming here. Camera films with one eye, you see with two eyes, so there's much less glare in person. You also have Sirius satellite radio on here, so just a really nice equipment level. If I put the vehicle in reverse, you're going to see lots of these trucks have multi-camera kind of systems. See if I can get zoomed in there. You can sort of see the yellow lines there, much easier to see in person than it is to film. It's very difficult to film a screen. What I really like is to have a trailer section here, which all it does is line up this line here. Let's see if we can show it to you. Yeah, that orange line, very easy to see in person. That lines up really well exactly with your trailer hitch, so you can just line that up when you're turning around a corner here. Let's see, turn the wheel, let's see if I can get you in there. There you go, when you turn the wheel, that'll follow the line of your trailer hitch. It's just a super way to hitch up trailer on your own, and if you're going into a parking spot, of course, you just line these yellow lines up with the parking lines. Really easy to see, really easy to work there. And just a really nice, simple system. Again, you can get so many cameras in these GM trucks. That's the camera you need, and with the software that you need in there, it works really well. So what do you think about the equipment on this truck? What are the must-have features for value in your truck? We can all load a truck up to the top and say we love all these features, but what are the features that you have to have, can't go without? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this truck but don't want the Duramax diesel, that black one over there is just similar, and that's the great thing about here at Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Whatever kind of truck you want, they've got it or can get it for you. If you want a mid-sized truck, just behind this truck is a whole lineup of mid-sized trucks. There's all kinds of them here. I want to thank Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals for giving me access to their full vehicle line. And if there's things you want to see in any kind of truck, let me know, because when we have one in stock, I'll make a video for you and we can continue to build the conversation about what makes a good truck. Thanks everybody for watching, and feel free to subscribe. We'll have more videos for you coming soon.